Families are seeking answers on the future of an abandoned cemetery. The grass is overgrown, headstones toppled, and individuals who purchased burial plots don't know if they'll be honored. We filed a records request to learn more about the state's efforts to identify who is responsible for Mount Zion Cemetery's upkeep and discovered it's still a mystery. While visiting loved ones, the Pearsons bring their own gardening tools. Beneath the grass, in what seems to be an empty field, lies Queen Pearson's two brothers.
My older brother died in 2001, which is buried next to my brother. And my mom is supposed to go between the two of them, but the place is a mess.
Her mom is 101 years old, and Queen has no idea if her wish and her investment will be honored.
They don't know who owns the place, so I don't know. I don't know how I can find out who owns it. I don't know who to contact.
Queen's mom purchased 3 plots back in 1993. She paid $495. Today, one plot could cost around $2,000.
I feel terrible because I have 2 sisters, 2 nieces, and other family members out here. But I'm sure I'm not the only person that's feeling this way.
Last year, we spoke with other families with the same concerns.
Who owns it should not have this like this at all.
A lot of grass, trash, like no one here to take care of it.
They just treat it like it doesn't really matter, though.
That was around Mother's Day, and nearly a year later, not much has changed.
The Mount Zion Cemetery has a long and troubled history.
David Zinner is on the advisory council for the Maryland Office of Cemetery Oversight, the state regulatory agency overseeing cemeteries, except it doesn't have the power to regulate this one.
They don't regulate religious cemeteries.
But they can get in contact with the owner, which is what they've tried to do unsuccessfully. We filed a records request for documents pertaining to the cemetery and its ownership and received dozens of emails and a 40-slide PowerPoint. The deed dates back to 1903. However, ownership became disputed in 2022, shortly after the most recent owner passed away. Since then, the office has received more than 400 calls and emails about the condition of the cemetery. At first, the state directed families to the Baltimore Annual Conference of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, who voluntarily maintained the cemetery between June 2022 and February 2024 until they did their own research and could find no evidence of ownership. A judge sided with them. Records now show the land belongs to Mount Zion Cemetery Company of Baltimore City, which appears to be a dead end.
The ownership of this cemetery is now unclear.
And it's unclear who has the power to do something about it.
Right now, everyone's hands are tied because there's no clear way to transfer ownership from an abandoned cemetery to someone who's going to take care of it.
Baltimore County is also involved. They've paid for mowing services but aren't assuming responsibility. And while volunteers have stepped in to help with the maintenance, there's a more immediate concern surrounding future burials.
This is a place where the state needs to step in and say, here's a mechanism where if we can't identify an owner, that we can figure out a way to transfer this to someone who's going to take care of it. And, we proposed that legislation this year. It did not pass. We're very confident we'll be able to get it to pass next year. But that's a year away. And what do people do who have that situation right now? And the answer is, there's no clear answer.
Which is upsetting to those who paid for plots here.
In her mind, at 101, she just knows this way she's coming.
And don't know if they'll be able to rest eternally alongside their loved ones. I reached out to the Office of Cemetery Oversight and was told an interview on this matter wasn't feasible. Instead, a spokeswoman sent a statement that they're hopeful about the passage of the Abandoned and Neglected Cemeteries Fund that seeks to provide care and preservation to cemeteries that have fallen into disrepair. Mallory Safaste, WMAR 2 News. I hope you enjoyed that Matter for Mallory. To watch more Matter for Mallory stories, click the box in the corner and be sure to tap that circle and subscribe to WMAR 2 News for quick access to great content posted every day.